Welcome to Manchester United News Update. Subscribe for more Manchester United news, match previews, and transfer updates. Ruben Amorim offers worrying Man United transfer update with mistakes claim. Ruben Amorim has shared an update about Manchester United's transfer plans following their 1-0 win over Fulham, with the January window set to slam shut very soon. Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim has admitted the club will be cautious in the January transfer window, admitting they cannot afford to make the same mistakes. United have yet to make any new signings so far this month, although they have shipped Antony out on loan to Real Betis. Amorim is looking to strengthen his squad, but it remains to be seen whether they will be able to bring in any reinforcements. When asked about United's plans for the final week of the transfer window after their 1-0 win over Fulham, Amorim told TNT Sports, "We have to be cautious. The rules here, and you know that we have to follow the rules. We have made mistakes in the past and we cannot do it now. We are focused on improving the team, but let's see. Let's focus on the players that we have and the next game." And in his post-match press conference, Amorim took a brutal swipe at Marcus Rashford, with the forward once again not making the matchday squad. Rashford is expected to leave United before the window closes, and when asked about the 27-year-old's future, Amorim said, "We missed a little bit of pace to go and change the game and move some pieces, but I prefer it like that. I would put goalkeeper coach Jorge Vidal before I put the player who does not give the maximum every day, so I will not change in that department. It's always the same reason. The reason is the training. The way I see what a footballer should do in training, in life, every day. If things don't change, I will not change. Same situation for every player. If you do the maximum, if you do the right things, we can use every player." Amorim also admitted he is unsure whether Alejandro Garnacho will remain at the club amid interest from Napoli and Chelsea, despite the fact the winger has started United's last two matches. "That nobody knows," Amorim added. "Anything can happen, but with Garna, he is improving in every department of the game, the way he recovered, the understanding of the game, the way he defends. I'm trying to find the best position for him. Today he played more open and not so much inside. We need guys 1-against-1, but I don't know what will happen until the end of the window." Exclusive. €70 million star wants Manchester United transfer after another deal fell through. Chelsea forward Christopher Nkunku is understood to be keen on a potential transfer to Manchester United after another move collapsed. Sources with a close understanding of the situation have informed Caught Offside that Nkunku had more or less agreed terms with Bayern Munich, but an agreement could not be struck with Chelsea. The Blues have set an asking price of around €70 million for Nkunku, though they could also be open to an initial loan move with an obligation to buy clause. "I was a Manchester United fan as a kid, but I knew I had to leave after just one training session. Which Man United flop made this huge revelation? It seems this might be problematic for Bayern, so it remains to be seen how likely it is that we could also see Mathys Tel sealing a transfer to Chelsea as well. Christopher Nkunku to Manchester United could be one to watch. Nkunku could be one to watch for Man United now, as the Red Devils are keen to strengthen up front this January. The France international has had his injury problems at Chelsea, and now looks to be out of favor, but he's previously shown what an outstanding talent he can be during an impressive spell at RB Leipzig. United have clear issues up front, so if they could bring in someone of Nkunku's caliber, they'd surely be landing an upgrade on flops like Joshua Zirkzee and Rasmus Højlund. A potential avenue for MUFC to get the Nkunku deal done could be with Chelsea's interest in Alejandro Garnacho, though Caught Offside understands that move has now also hit some complications. It could make for an interesting end to January with so many of these deals in the air and still connected in some way. If Nkunku does leave Chelsea, one imagines they would surely want at least one of Tel or Garnacho coming through the door as well to help replace that depth up front. Manchester United player ratings versus Fulham with 2.8 out of 10s, but Rasmus Højlund poor in Premier League win. Man United beat Fulham in the Premier League, and here are how Ruben Amorim and his players rated at Craven Cottage. Manchester United beat Fulham 1-0 at Craven Cottage on Sunday. Neither side looked like opening the scoring in the first half, and the two teams headed for the interval with the game locked at 0-0. United took the lead through Lisandro Martinez as his long-range effort deflected off Sasa Lukic and looped over Bernd Leno. Toby Collier headed Joachim Andersen's effort off the line late on before Ahmad thought he had added a second, but his goal was disallowed for offside following a VAR check. Here are how the players rated at Craven Cottage. Andre Onana made some routine stops from Alex Iwobi in the first half. Resorted to time-wasting shortly before Lisandro Martinez scored. 6. Matthijs de Ligt, responsible for United's belated first attempt at goal, and was defensively dominant before he came off shortly before the hour. 6. Harry Maguire relished the aerial duels with Raul Jimenez and was United's most consistent performer all evening. Good recovery from his error against Rangers. Lisandro Martinez diced with death when he challenged Emile Smith-Rowe late in the penalty area. Stepped into the final third once again and got a goal. Noussair Mazraoui started on the left wing and still looks like a full-back attempting to play as a winger. Did not impress on either flank. 5. Manuel Ugarte had a bit about him and won the free kick that United had their first sight of goal from. Put in a shift before he was forced off. 6. Bruno Fernandes stayed in a central midfield role but not granted as much freedom as he was against Rangers. Had some set-piece opportunities but was frivolous with the ball at times. 5. Diogo Dalot, back on his favored right-hand side but lacked confidence on the ball. Switched flanks with Mazraoui at halftime and it made no difference. 5. Ahmad. Fulham were quick to close him down and he struggled to remotely influence the play. Teams are not affording him as much space now. 7. Alejandro Garnacho, the most alert of United's forwards in the first half and fashioned some openings they did not take advantage of. 6. Rasmus Højlund started for the sake of variety after Joshua Zirkzee did not score against Brighton and Rangers. Højlund was a dire downgrade. Substituted in the 58th minute. 3. Subs. Joshua Zirkzee gave United a focal point without looking like scoring. 6. Lenny Yoro defended well in difficult circumstances. 7. Toby Collier offered energy in midfield. Great clearance. 7. Tyrell Malaysia came on to see out the game. 6. Kabi Mainu emerged at the same time as Malaysia. 6. Manager tried to freshen up the team with 5 changes, but United were prosaic in their play, and recalling Højlund made them worse up top. Decisively introduced Zirkzee. 6. Sir Jim Ratcliffe got a first-hand view of Manchester United transfer priority at Fulham. Man United beat Fulham 1-0 at Craven Cottage to earn an 8th Premier League win of the season in unconvincing fashion. None of those Manchester United fans traveling back up the M6 late on a Sunday night would have been bothered. But this was a game of football that got the goal it deserved. Lisandro Martinez is starting to develop into an attacking weapon for United, and his proactiveness in winning possession ahead of Rodrigo Muniz and intent to drive forward was impressive. But his left-footed shot took a wicked deflection off Sasa Lukic and gave Bernd Leno no chance. As the ball hit the back of the net via Leno's palm and the crossbar, Martinez ran straight to an away end that deserved that moment more than the players wearing red. Premier League wins have been hard to come by for United this season, and the 8th of a disappointing campaign deserved to be celebrated. But it cannot cloud United's judgment over the final 8 days of the winter transfer window. Business will be done by 11 p.m. next Monday, and it could be a defining week in this season. Sir Jim Ratcliffe was at Craven Cottage to witness a United win that did little to paper over the cracks. He should have left knowing the checkbook needs to be opened. United continue to push for Lecce left wing-back Patrick Dorgu, but an attacking reinforcement is required as well. That will be even more important if they go through with the sale of Alejandro Garnacho, who is of interest to Napoli and Chelsea and could fund a late shopping spree. Garnacho again showed moments of class at Craven Cottage, although he didn't hit the heights he showed against Rangers. Nobody on that pitch whose job it is to score or create goals will look back fondly on the game. That will be especially true for Rasmus Højlund, for whom this victory would have been bittersweet. Højlund has played international football with Fulham centre-back Joachim Andersen, and it felt telling that Andersen kept coming up against Højlund, almost as if he had told Calvin Bassey that he would handle United's number 9. When the ball is played into the striker's feet, he can make a battle of it. He can hold the ball up well, but his biggest issue in those situations is waiting for the support, which can be too slow to arrive. At Sporting, Victor Gyökeres would run the channels or get in behind to offer his side an outball. Højlund struggles to do that but is also denied the space to do it or the support to make it a worthwhile tactic. However, there is no escaping from the fact that the record of United strikers is desperate. Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee cost up to £108 million across the last 2 summers, but neither looks remotely like being the answer. Zirkzee scored on his debut against Fulham on the season's opening weekend but has failed to score in 30 of his 32 appearances since then.